Kenny from Denbighshire Gardening Services. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about fertilisers for your lawn and why we need to apply them. Alright, the lawn to grow healthily needs water, which it generally gets from nature, although we can help us when it gets a bit dry by putting our water on it ourselves from the watering can or such like. The second thing it needs is air, which again is completely controlled by Mother Nature. The only thing that we can affect is to keep grass or in fact any plants out of the way of pollution, but give it as much fresh air as possible to give it its best chance of good growth. The third area, which is commonly less known, is the food side of things, which is where the fertilisers come in. A lawn fertiliser is broken down usually into three different elements: nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus. On a fertilising packet bag, it will say its NPK ratio or its NKP ratio. Those elements: nitrogen is the N, the K is potassium, that's the chemical symbol for potassium, and the P is for phosphorus. The different numbers next to that will determine how balanced it is in each event, and therefore we need to ensure that we get the right fertiliser for the right time of the year. Alright, the first thing we need to consider is the spring fertiliser, which is generally a very much a nitrogen enriched fertiliser. Nitrogen is there to promote green growth in both the leaf of the grass, provides a lot of chlorophyll for it, and it gives a deep green enriched colour to your lawn in the early part of the year. Nitrogen is excellent at the early part of the year. However, as an element, it does drain very quickly from the garden, and therefore we need to ensure that we have enough nitrogen in it throughout the year. It is very much a fast-acting fertilising element, unlike the other two. The other two that we need to consider are phosphorus and potassium, as I say. Potassium, which is the chemical symbol K, that stimulates a healthy, slower growth. What it does, potassium will stay in the system a lot longer. But what it won't do, like nitrogen, is act as fast or as effectively. However, it does promote stronger growth. And finally, the phosphorus element, which is very important. This is all about the root structure, and this builds healthy and longer lasting roots, which enable the other elements to work effectively. So the three of them combine well, and they're just balanced differently depending on the time of the year. If you want a decent spring fertiliser, it's going to be heavily in nitrogen, and as the season goes throughout, the nitrogen level decreases and an increase on the other two elements of the phosphorus and the potassium. Okay, so that's basically it on lawn fertilisers. As I say, both liquid lawn feed or granular feed are the two ways. The granular feed is the common one that you'll get from the garden centre or the shop, but the liquid one is probably more fast-acting than the granular one. You've got to ensure that you get the right conditions when you're actually applying your fertiliser. You need to have cut your grass no more than sort of 3 days either side. So essentially what you don't want to be doing is putting it on just before or just after a cut. In addition, you don't need it to be pouring down with rain, because the fertiliser won't affect the ground. It will just blow away into the borders and the beds. And on the other hand, you don't want it to be too hot. It needs to be absorbed into the ground, so you need to obviously add a little bit of fluid with it. So it's average conditions to be putting on, and then you'll have the best results. Okay, further details, give me a shout on the usual details. Facebook page, Denbighshire Gardening Services, www.denbishiregardening.co.uk, and email me for any questions on andykenny@ymail.com. Andy Kenny, Denbighshire Gardening Services, take care. See you now.